Hello there, friends, and welcome back to more Bravely Default. Last time, we took down most of the Black Blades. We left Kamiizumi for right now, but everyone else, we took down. Utilizing, well, not the greatest team comp, we did showcase a few more strong builds that you could use for individual jobs, and I'm pretty satisfied with what we did. And we're here in Eternia, where we're going to be facing off against the remaining members of the Council of Six that we haven't taken down. But we're here in Eternia proper because I want to take care of a significant thing while we're here in the first place. We heard mention of Kent's daughter. I want to go ahead and talk to this nurse right here. It's been some time now since it started. Money turns up here, sent anonymously for who knows what purpose. I've been donating it to help cover the local children's medical expenses. In previous worlds, we can see that this nurse is accompanied by a young girl, who mentions that there is a generous benefactor that is helping pay for her treatments, and this nurse here talks about how she's been donating this special money to the local children's hospital. It isn't obviously stated completely outright, but that is without a doubt Kent's daughter, the young girl. Obviously, we can't see her there. But Kent has been using his mercenary money to pay for not just his daughters, but the entire children's hospital's fees here in Eternia. His dirty deeds are, without a doubt, going to a good cause, which I can respect. So why am I here in Eternia as Arcanist on Agnes? Well, it's because we're going to be swapping around jobs a little bit more. Agnes is on Arcanist, and she's going to be running Ritualism and Black Magic. This time around, I'm going to make sure that I get the thing that I want to get activated this time around when we fight off Victor and Victoria, because now I'm going to be equipping Status Ailment Amp on her, which will raise the chance of imparting a status ailment. Hopefully, I get what I want pretty quickly. I think I'm actually going to remove this stuff. I wasn't thinking too far ahead, but I do want to go ahead and utilize Group Cast All, and I guess I should probably do something like a magic attack 10% up or whatnot. It won't be a huge boost, but we're not going to be doing standard magic attacks. So let's go ahead and get rid of that axe and give her the Wonder Rod. Give her extra magic damage. The Dark Shield can stay, as Victoria does have access to dark magic. Now, looking at Tiz, he's going to be going back to Swordmaster, the tried and true, Bushido, and Piracy. His support abilities haven't changed all that much, and he's kind of going back to the way that we knew him back before we did all the job changes. The reason for this is because I want him to have some consistency. Free lunch plus amped strikes sound pretty nice right now. Ring a Bell is actually going to be on Knight right now, with Spiritism as his job command. That way he can still utilize Enigma and Fairy's Ward and whatnot in order to minimize as much damage as possible. He's going to be running dual shields, physical defense 30% up, and auto shell to basically make him a defensive beast. We have the Blessed Shield on him just in case he wants to heal, along with some mind-increasing equipment to boost it just a little bit, and the Dark Shield to completely guard against dark magic. Idia here is going to be doing Dark Knight with Miscellany, which, again, we're showing off another Mimic build. I know. Two-handed, physical attack 30% up, and Gloom as her support abilities. We're looking at a pretty interesting build that's actually surprisingly common. We're going to be equipping the Bloodblade on her, but this is not going to be the only weapon she's using, as we will, in mid-combat, be switching her to the Musuno Kami once we've used the Bloodblade the way we need it to. But we'll get into that here fairly soon. First things first, let's go ahead and check up on Rende Village. So, with the compound shop complete, we have obtained the bonus equipment, the Plain Tunic. This is another another costume that we have access to, and we'll take a quick look at it here in a second. But first things first, let's go ahead and pick another shop to upgrade. I'm thinking, let's go with the, where are you? Let's go with the onion shirt from the armor shop. Level that up. That's a Tiz costume. And we'll talk about what the costumes look like and what they're from whenever we actually get our hands on them. So, looking at the plain tunic, it is 200,000 peeg for one of these, which is very expensive. And I'll have an image on screen on the right here to showcase what it is. It's basically an outfit that'll allow you to look like the freelancer whenever you want. One important thing to note, though, when it comes to costumes, is that hang on, I think it's in this here. Nope. I actually can't show off what I was going to mention just yet, so, sorry, scratch that. So I guess with that out of the way, all we can do is go ahead and start up our little, Eternian hunting journey once more. So, let's go ahead and head to Grand Central Command. Now, I I skipped the cutscene with Victor and Victoria back whenever we first entered here for the Contra quest line. But I'll go ahead and showcase that just real quick if you want to see it for yourself right now.
I'm in fine form today. I'll show you how weak and pathetic you...
Victoria!
Victor, I can't... Please!
Alas, you have grown more unstable than I had feared. We must seek treatment at once.
Yeah, as I mentioned back then, there isn't really much to it, but because I skipped it, it's a pretty small cutscene. I thought it's a minor inconvenience. It's not that bad. So let's go say hi to Victor.
Victor.
Silence, if you please. She would likely perish if we were to disturb her now.
It's happening again.
Again? What do you mean?
Oh, I was just thinking out loud.
Allow me to tell you a story, if I may. Once upon a time, in a place not of this land, there was an orphan child suffering an incurable disease. Her name was Victoria. Though still a child, she was abhorred by those around her due to her affliction, as the orthodoxy cast her aside. She was taken in and raised by the orthodoxy soon after her birth. She simply waited upon her inevitable demise, all the while gasping in pain and despair. Then, a chance meeting changed her life. On death's door and abandoned, she was found by the Grand Marshal, who wandered the lands after renouncing the orthodoxy himself. She began her treatments in this land after the Lord Marshal conquered and renamed it the Duchy of Eternia. It was I who created the white magic cable. I was charged with studying the combined use of white magic and the crystals. I advocated the use of treatments by amplified white magic on her. But there was one who voiced objections. My assistant in my white magic research, Vincent S. Court, my father. He pressed endlessly for an alternate treatment, one not based on the amplification of white magic. But it was alchemical genesis he proposed. It is a forbidden art, a foul heresy, banned since the time of the Old Faith. The Lord Marshal and I both rejected my father's proposal out of hand. But he would not be swayed. He didn't so much as ask Victoria's consent. He believed his cure had rid her of her affliction, but the truth was far different. It stilled her growth, and periodic fits grew more frequent. Soon, it began to cripple even her mind. My father has since passed. She found clarity one day, returned to herself. She murdered him. I was devastated. No, in truth, I was already a broken man. You must think me a fool for not loathing my father's murderer. But I could not exact vengeance on her. I was entranced by her innocent eyes and childlike form. I devoted myself, body and soul, to her healing. Yet, I failed to relieve her suffering. Each time her tiny form is racked with pain, I ask myself, knowing the result, would I still have intervened as I did? But ever is my answer the same. As long as I draw breath, I will see that she does too. No matter how she suffers, I'll not allow her to die. She is both my crime and my redemption. My ego, my joy. I dedicate my entirety to her. And know no greater pleasure.
What nonsense. I mean, really, Victor, that was so boring and really long, too.
Forgive me, Victoria. How do you fare now?
Back to my old self, but I don't think I could take another one of those fits. Now, let's take care of these fools once and for all.
Your wish is my command.
Stop it! What is the point of us fighting?
The point, you ask? Because you disgust me, Idia. That is reason enough to fight? No. I wish to see your corpses splayed before me, fools!
Yeah, I'm not going to give these guys too much time to stand on ceremony. We're going to rip them apart. So, let's see if my ritualism strategy actually wants to work this time. So, we're going to be trying to poison them. I'm going to try braving twice. Maybe 2 attempts will be enough to poison both of them. If not, oh well. We're going to have Tis Defaults. Now, I did not equip star pendants on my whole crew. That is because I'm just going to be utilizing Fairy's Ward to nullify all ailments for our party. And most of them aren't, and Agnes and Ring of Bell aren't going to be hurt by Victoria's Dark anyway, so really there isn't much problem here. Idia is going to be actually utilizing the Blood Blade. This will give her the Drain ability. So what we're going to do... Oh, hang on. We're going to Brave once. We're going to utilize the Blood Blade, and then we're going to change our weapon to the Mutsu no Kami. That way we have our 390 attack power. And then we'll just attack normally. We're not going to need the actual damage just yet. There we go. Fairy's Aid, all mental attacks up, that's fine. Blood Blade, and we'll do some regular damage. Silence, guard, guard, okay. I should have expected that, honestly. I guess I forgot that their Chapter 6 forms and onward, they just guard poison, which really sucks. That's okay. We'll have Idia do most of our damage anyways. So we're gonna have Tis Default for right now. There's the damage adversity. We're getting the buffs from taking damage, which is nice. Because this isn't going to work, I think instead we'll go ahead and showcase how, let's see here. I guess we'll throw an internment out just to do it, but Victoria has a decent resistance to darkness, so we're gonna have to play this fairly safe. The difference between internment when you're super buffing it and when you're not should be light and day right there. Night and day. Not light and day. I guess I'm thinking of the weaknesses and whatnot. So I'm gonna go ahead and default with Agnes. She's kind of useless in this fight now, so we're gonna do free lunch and just try and weaken Victor as much as possible, as he's honestly the biggest threat here because of the... yeah, we're gonna have to bring a lot of Bolt because of his access to Holy, which is more of a threat right now. We're actually going to cast Rage on Idia, and then we're gonna have her mimic it. This will do quite a bit of damage, and since we have access to the Blood Blade, we don't even need to worry about sword magic, as she has access to Drain immediately. Oh, mimic failed. Unfortunate. Yeah, unfortunately, Rage is pretty difficult to use with Mimic. I guess that idea kind of was lost on me. So this whole strategy's kind of falling apart, isn't it? I guess I'll just probably rely on Tiz and Adia's standard attacks and rages and whatnot to deal most of our damage, and I'll see you at the end of this fight.
I am sorry, Victoria. Forgive me, Father.
Thank you, Victor.
Well, she seemed a lot more thankful for what Victor has done for her, which, honestly, I'm pretty okay with. The whole tragedy of those two characters and how much they obsessed over each other, at least Victoria in this world has some sense of gratitude, which she didn't really show in any of the other worlds. But those two are down, and we have a few more targets to go. I need to go and rethink my composition, because apparently I didn't think too hard about this, and unfortunately I didn't get to use my Arcanist Revenge on Victoria that I so dearly wanted to use. There is a way around guarded ailments, but it requires special moves, and I didn't really want to do that, so yeah. Okay, I've revamped my setup a little bit. I have sent Agnes back to... No, not the special moves. Don't need to worry about that. I've sent her back to the free lunch, phantom weapon, just completely destroy the boss setup. And I've also brought Adia back to Vampire to utilize the Vampire skills to the best that they can be. It's an attack Vampire build. Just so, you know, a lot of the other builds that I've used have had a lot of screen time, these haven't, so I thought might as well give them just a little bit more. So next up on the list is we're going to be heading over to Lord DeRosso's Vampire Castle and seeing if there's anything new to glean from him. So I'll see you over there. I guess as a quick note, the dragons are completely restored, and you can fight them again if you so wish, but they aren't needed as long as you have defeated them all at least once and entered the castle. So, no need. They do give some pretty decent EXP though, and the strategies you've used for them beforehand will of course work again.
Just as cold as before.
No major ceremony here. Let's go ahead and hang left real quick and go grab ourselves another blue chest. Vampire Castle holds the Hadian claws. I don't know if anyone here has decent claws, but these claws will deal dark damage. I don't really think claws are all that great unless, unless you really want like the special abilities, because monks and fist users in general just go unarmed. I don't know. Looking at the paintings,
It is the same portrait as before, and just as big.
Right. And what a beauty his mother was. The same description, too. Lester, eldest son of the House of DeRosso, future clergyman of the Crystal Adventists and cardinal of the Crystal Orthodoxy. Born in the land of Eternia on a cold winter's day.
It seems a struggle between the old faith and the orthodoxy arose here in this world, too.
Never has a visitor spoken of matters of such import. 'Tis as if you have been to this castle before.
Lord DeRosso!
Ah, you know me then. You must be... Yes, I see. And it seems there is much you already know. Yes. Yes, I see.
A family portrait by Lord DeRosso. Little did he know of the approaching maelstrom. Such tragedy that we could not possibly fathom.
The dialogue here doesn't really change all of that much. But if you're interested, I will go ahead and showcase all of them. But if you don't really care all that much, go ahead and skip to the time shown here.
Lord DeRosso's ordainment portrait.
From the old faith to the orthodoxy, an era of great change that sealed Lord DeRosso's fate.
The meaningless power struggle took place in this world as well, it appears.
You know much. How uncanny. Almost disturbing. Which is perhaps ironic coming from me.
Lord DeRosso!
I see. My fate has already.
Lord DeRosso's castle siege painting.
This is where his never-ending struggle began.
And his never-ending sorrow.
So, you feel pity for me? Well, I suppose stranger things have happened.
Lord DeRosso.
The question is, to what extent do you... No, let us leave that for another time.
Lord DeRosso's portrait of immortality.
Accept me, and I shall grant life everlasting. Though it shall be filled with grief, thou shalt have all eternity to wreak vengeance upon thine enemies. Who or what was talking to him, and why?
Even I know not, just as I know not how you came to know those words.
Lord DeRosso.
Accept me. Ah, yes. Eternal grief and eternal vengeance.
Lord DeRosso's war landscape.
The war that changed the very land we walk upon. I shudder when I think of the manner in which it was waged.
Care for a taste of my power? The power to fell mountains and tear the earth asunder.
Lord DeRosso!
Then again, you people might... Well, we would simply have to try it to find out what would happen. No.
Lord DeRosso's portrait of the Archbishop.
So Juliana was responsible for cutting off the Vestals and temples from the corrupt orthodoxy. But the description for this portrait only tells of the time he was hatching his plot.
Precisely. The actual events therein shall be told in other paintings.
Lord DeRosso.
Or perhaps you have already. Yes, 'tis in the realm of possibility for those such as you.
Lord DeRosso's asterisk painting.
There are asterisks in this world too. It seems the sage here in this world also wanted to reduce the Orthodoxy's authority. I've always wondered what they were made of. They have such a warm, bewitching glow.
Truth be told, he never shared the secret of their making with me either.
Really? He kept the secret from you too?
The next time we meet, I shall have him explain it to me.
And that's every painting except for the one that we have to fight him to see, so let's go ahead and get that over with.
I commend you for making it this far. The final painting lies beyond this throne. I shall reveal it to you if you defeat me in battle.
You're referring to the angel painting.
Precisely. You know much that has yet to happen, my friends. The last test is a test of strength. I shall only reveal the painting to those whom I deem worthy. One might also say that there is no need for those who are unworthy to lay their eyes upon it. But be forewarned, I am a formidable foe. I trust you are well prepared.
Third time's the charm, buddy. We fought you a few times already. This won't be too bad. I wonder if there's any new information about that angel painting he can give us, because we already have a pretty good grasp of what is going on in this world, and, well, I guess worlds. Okay, so DeRosso. We're gonna play this a little safe right now. We're gonna be kind of doing a free lunch strategy, I guess is really the best way of putting this. We're going to be waiting for him to utilize BP Drain in order to do all of our craziness. We're going to go ahead and put a curse on him, though, real quick. Curse. Wait for that BP Drain. Gravaga is fine. We're going to be using Idea to heal with White Wind if we have anything if anything goes horribly, horribly wrong. And we're also not really going to dip into the negative if I can help it. So we're just going to play pretty safe here for the most part. Yeah, we'll have her default too. Yep. Battle Thirst, there we go. Alright. Now, with Ring a Bell, we're gonna go ahead and just apply Stillness. We're gonna have everyone default just in case Ring a Bell can't get this off in time. We'll just apply Stillness and have everyone else default. Alright. So now, Energy Burst and probably the Bone Crush that comes afterwards won't have any issue. We're gonna free lunch with Anyas and Tiz. And we're going to have Ring a Bell go ahead and default to set up for another Stillness prep, just in case. And then Idea is going to re-up Curse, and then we're just going to lay into him after this turn. He's not going to be able to do anything with any of his damage. Battle Thirst, oh, he's going for another? He's going to go for another one. Okay, we're going to default, and then do Stillness again, because DeRosso's a cheeky bastard, so we're going to have to re-up our free lunch, unfortunately. So we're basically just going to repeat this turn. Stillness. Speed things up. Free lunch. Battle Thirst is going for it again. We're gonna default. Yeah, we're just gonna default to build up BP. All right, cool. I guess our Stillness kind of messed with his AI a little bit. But that's okay. Next time he decides to do it, we'll be ready. We're going to free lunch. Yeah, it's not basically. He doesn't have it anymore. So we'll do free lunch and then a bunch of amp strikes. Default with Ring a Bell. We'll go ahead and do a Firestorm just in case, just to re-up his physical defense down, and then we'll do a bunch of Fireballs. We have the Mutsuno Kami equipped, so this will do a teeny bit more damage, not much. We have a higher crit rate, so maybe we can get some extra damage off? No, okay, fine. Amp Strike. There we go. Battle Thirsts, Free Lunch, and Tournament. Now, unfortunately, DeRosso has a huge magical defense pool, so you might need to lower that if you're gonna do any of these kinds of builds. Is there really anything else to show off? Oh, he got his Energy Burst out first. That means that Ring a Bell is actually in a speed tie with him. That's not good. I guess I'll have to use Tiz to lower his speed. That's not really anything too important, though. We're gonna go ahead and default. I guess we'll default with Tiz, and then we'll heal up with Idea. There's not really anything else to show with this encounter, so I think I'll see you at the end of it.
How can this be? The immortal Lester DeRosso has been defeated?
That wasn't too bad. Made a bit of a scare with that energy burst, but nothing we couldn't really handle. He couldn't do much damage to us anyways, especially with how much defense we have accumulated. Mega Elixir, though. I'll take as many of those as I can get.
I am a man of my word. Behold, the final painting.
And now let's see if there's anything new here. Last time we got basically 100% confirmation that Anyas was the angel that dropped between the Sage and DeRosso 2,000 years prior, and we've gotten official confirmation of that from this point onward. So, is there anything new to find out about?
Lord DeRosso's angel painting.
It's as he said. She looks just like Agnes.
You can say that again.
Yes, they could be twins.
Is there really such a resemblance?
Did I speak thus in the previous world?
Oh, Lord DeRosso. I don't recall if you truly said that.
I seem to recall he did. At least I think.
Well, no matter. The truth is, there is a striking resemblance.
Yeah, unfortunately not. The whole thing with Vampire Castle being, you know, the huge lore dump, unfortunately that's a little bit of a dud here in this world. But hey, if you missed out on any loot, you can grab it. If you want to fight DeRosso again, just for the extra JP, or just because you like the guy, there you go. But otherwise, this is probably, I mean, most of the Chapter 6 sub-scenarios, this is probably one you can skip out on. However, there's one more sub-scenario that we have yet to do that we've been building up to for a while in the background here, and that I highly suggest that you go and tackle. But real quick, we're going to heal up, and then I'll see you over there. Fair warning about this next segment. This is the biggest case of what I've mentioned a few times, where Bravely Default has different outcomes depending on how you approach certain sub-scenarios in varying orders and how you've talked to certain NPCs. It might change the outcome of certain characters and their fates. And this is one of the most hidden and also the most drastic change that you can get in this game. This revolves around Brave, Mazur, and Kamiizumi, which is why I've left his sub-scenario for last here in Chapter 6. This sub-scenario, where we're going to be facing off against Kamiizumi, we are going to be going for what is called the Way of the Sword ending. And that requires a lot of steps, and we have done most of them up until this point, just kind of on the back burner. Now, I've mentioned it a few times and brought it to your attention, but I've never mentioned all of the steps that you need to go through in order to get this. So, let's go ahead and do that now. I do want to note that you must start these prerequisites before you even get to Chapter 6. The only way for you to really truly begin this is that you need to have beaten Kamiizumi in Chapter 3 or 4. So, let's start there. In order to get the ending that I am about to get for this sub-scenario, you must first defeat Swordmaster Kamiizumi in Chapter 3 or 4. It does not matter when, you just need to beat him before you go to the Holy Pillar for the very, very first time. Next, you must visit Mazur in Chapter 5 to get the cutscene How Do You Feel? And then you must visit the Gossiper here and learn of the story of what people believe happened between Kamiizumi and Brave when fighting over Mazur's feelings. Once you've talked to the Gossiper, make sure you awaken all the crystals, talk to him again, and also make sure you have fought Brave. Then, go fight Kamiizumi in Chapter 5. This'll get you the cutscene Do You Still Love Her? Which is what we saw when we last fought him, where Edea asked Kamiizumi if he still loved Edea's mother, which he was unable to answer. If you've done that, in Chapter 6 here, talk to the Gossiper once again, which we're going to do, then to Mazur, and make sure you have the Fire Crystal awoken. You don't need any other crystals, just make sure you have the Fire Crystal. So, let's go ahead and talk to the Gossiper. There isn't anything important here, just make sure you talk to him. You want to make sure that that information is in Edea's head. Unfortunately, you need to make sure that Edea has the context of their conflict in her head for this all to work. If she doesn't know about their conflict, then she can't ask Kamiizumi or Mazur about them. If we talk to Mazur, I ask that you look after my daughter for me. Keep her safe. If you talk to Mazur at the very, very end of Chapter 5, after completing the Kamiizumi sub-scenario, or at the very beginning of Chapter 6, you will obtain a cutscene. I have already seen this cutscene earlier in this chapter, so I know that I've made it. If you've done everything right, then once you go and tackle Kamiizumi, you should be getting a very, very important cutscene. So, let's go see if this all worked out, and let's go take him down. So, back here in Stark Fort, first things first, let's take care of this blue chest, which holds the Muramasa. Let's go ahead and give that to Tiz. Idia won't need to worry about an extra katana. It's a pretty cool looking sword. Triggers the Defang effect when used as an item, so you don't even need to utilize Pirate in order to have Defang now. It's a pretty cool blade, man. It's like red and black. Hell yeah. Alright, sorry, let's focus up on Kamiizumi. Alright, make sure you save up just in case you've messed things up. Unfortunately, multiple save files is not really something you can do, so if you mess this trick up, unfortunately, you might have to wait until much later in the playthrough in order to fix it. Let's hope I didn't mess it up, though.
So the fire crystal has been awakened. It has all been in vain. The war we started in this realm, the deaths of both ally and foe, and the demise of the fire vestal. Do you not think so? You who resemble a disciple I once favored.
Master, I know. I've spoken with my father of it any number of times, and my mother. She told me much of what happened. It gave me a new appreciation for the friendship and undying trust between you and my father, and your feelings for my mother, and your sense of purpose. I understand. All of it. I understand. Thank you for bringing my mother and father together. Thank you for helping my father. Thank you for teaching me the sword. Thank you for helping me become the woman I am today. And forgive me. Forgive me for what I've done.
It does my heart good to hear those words. What joy to see my student come into her own. Now, how about a lesson? It's been far too long since the last. Come at me with all your might, you and your comrades alike. I will show you the essence of mastery of the sword. Now come!
With all the feelings laid out for everyone to see, this is not a battle to the death. This is a friendly spar between master and student. Let's show him everything we have learned. Kamiizumi has not changed very much from any of his previous encounters. He's still pretty much a huge guessing game, so we're going to be playing fairly safe, and ideally we can win the guessing game and come out of this on top. First things first, though, we're going to set up... I guess for right now, let's go ahead and default with everyone. Except for Tiz. Let's go ahead and have Tiz poke him. Just very lightly. We want to see if we can trigger that counter before Swine. There we go. Unfortunately, wrong counter. We need nothing ventured. We're going to have Tiz attack him again. Hopefully we can trigger the right one. Know thy enemy. That, you know what? That works if it's the right guy. Nope, it isn't. Alright, so we're just going to try it again. Nope, he's not going for a counter. That's okay. He's going for the right guy, because Ring of Vel's defenses are basically impenetrable. Know thine enemy? Alright, cool. Right guy this time. And it instantly kills Tiz, but it's know that enemy. We should have expected that. So we're going to go ahead and go on the offense now, and hopefully, things work out. Actually, we're going to wait until Kamiizumi's in the negative before we go fully out. So we're going to have Ringabel go ahead and Stillness, just in case Kamiizumi does go crazy with his attack power. And we're going to have Idia raise his and heal him to full with White Wind. Let's see if Kamiizumi goes on the offense here. Yes, he does. Awesome. We're going to heal up. We're going to speed things up as well. Okay. We did not get our stillness out in time. Thankfully, we do have a little bit of time to recover ourselves, which is really good. We're going to have Ringabel bring Tiz and Idia back from the dead. Thankfully, stillness still applies to them, even though they are currently unconscious. Obviously, that's not the case anymore, so we're going to have Agnes go on the offense here. And then, unfortunately, we might be in a bit of a pickle. I think I'm actually going to use an elixir to bring ourselves up. Kamiizumi's not holding back, and neither will we. So, we're going to elixir and then white wind. There we go. That's our first elixir I think we've used. In tournaments. Doing much better damage against Kamiizumi than DeRosso, thanks to his much lower magical defense. And I think I'll go ahead and commit to another round of internments. I am not confident in his... I really hope that he doesn't counter Agnes. I think what I'm going to do is... I can't really do much, can I? No, I can't. Okay, we'll have Idia curse him, just in case. Before Swine, that's not good. Yeah, sorry, Agnes, you're going down. It was a 50-50 shot whether or not he was going to use Before Swine or Squeaky Wheel, so that is on me. But thankfully, that did count as a counter, so we're going to Stillness and hope for the best here. He gets his attack off. Just attack, you know, that works. We're going to use Idia to get Agnes up. This is not the best team to be going into this fight with, as you could probably tell. I've had much better times fighting this boss whenever I have access to more buffs and debuffs and whatnot. But this is working its magic, I guess, somewhat. We're going to have Tiz go ahead and free launch and then just amp strike while Kamiizumi's in the negative. And then we'll have Idia default. There we go, amp strike. That Muramasa extra damage is coming in handy there. Do I really want to play the 50-50 game or... Nah, let's go ahead. Actually, I'll go ahead and poke with Tiz just in case. And then we'll Stillness with Ring a Bell. Maybe I can get... Oh no, he's going for full Brave anyways. Counter. Oh, the counter battle? Ah, no. Okay. That's okay. Okay, then I guess we're going to heal. Actually, yeah, we'll free lunch and then free lunch, default, and then we'll just heal with Idia. Actually, we'll curse with Idia and also heal. And hopefully, we can put this fight behind us. Next major attack window. And with that was a well-played match there, Kamiizumi. You put us on the ropes a little bit, I'm not gonna lie. And we obtained a Masamune for defeating him.
You have grown strong, Idia. I've nothing more to teach you.
Master, I'm so very grateful to you.
Farewell, child.
Master, where will you go?
The way of the sword runs far and deep, as do the journeys on which it takes me.
With the way of the sword being revealed to us, Kamiizumi's life is spared if you go this route. The Way of the Sword is one of the rarest cutscenes in the entire game. Very hard to, as it's very difficult to get, and even if you do know about it, it's, well, I mean, good luck knowing about it unless you've been on forums or whatnot. There's only been one person ever that I've known that has just accidentally stumbled upon it. And I've known a lot of people who have played this game. Kamiizumi as a character is one of my favorites, as he's not just a third wheel to a couple. He was someone who basically was a third parent to Idia, who taught her so much about life and how to value it. He is the ultimate friend that everyone should have. One of the kindest people in this world, despite his position as a commander of the Black Blades. And I respect him dearly for it. Okay, so literally 1 week after I finished recording this episode, a Bravely Default content creator by the name of Red Nova Tyrant made a YouTube video over the Way of the Sword questline, detailing all of its cutscenes and going into detail step by step on how to complete the questline. I would highly suggest you go and watch it. It's a really, really awesome video, and it is so much easier than trying to navigate my playthrough and making sure that you didn't miss a really, really small detail. I will have the video linked in the description. Please go check him out. He's really, really good at what he does. And yeah, keep up the great work, Red. Keep it coming. All right, back to the video. Okay, and with that done, there's not really much else for us here in Chapter 6, isn't there? So, I think it's best if we bid adieu to World 3, huh? I'll see you at the Holy Pillar. Alternus won't be here to stop us either, as he's retired. So, we have a clean shot. Let's hope it works this time.
Three times now we've seen this light.
I don't feel the warmth I did the first time.
I feel nothing at all. Nothing save a stabbing pain all over.
Where are Dats and Zats?
I had them take refuge in the hold. Okay, everyone. Don't forget to watch over me. This is going to work this time. You'll see.
Yes, of course.
Wait. Are we really sure about this? Oh, wondrous and beautiful first flight! My brooch awaits your divine radiance!
Ring a bell. Ring a bell! Why?
Let's keep watch.
What?
We should watch over Aerie.
Right. Alternus Dim shouldn't appear in this world. But let's not let our guard down.
Forgive me, Tiz. It's my fault. Because of me and the Holy Pillar, your village, time and time again.
We do this to vanquish our foe. Our true enemy. The source of the great darkness.
How much longer must we suffer this sadness?
Just a little longer, until that pattern heralds the beginning.
For now, we'll grit our teeth and bear it. Together. Until it's done.
And beyond that, we'll make amends together still.
For now, we'll join Agnes on whatever path she believes in.